Ladies and gentlemen, from Caterpillar's team, Cat's Iron Will, ALS, please welcome Ed Rapp.
Now, thank you very much. I do want to start, Peter, Marcus, mentors, as well as fellow teams, with a thank you for allowing me to come through what has been an amazing process. It's one that I'll forever appreciate. You know, we all have anniversaries. I have a unique one coming up here on November 5th. It'll be the one-year anniversary from hearing the utterance of the words, "You have ALS." You know, after I went through the process and kind of understood the challenge at hand, the funny thing is it actually wasn't the potential loss of life that I was most preoccupied by. I mean, the reality of it is none of us are going to get out of this thing alive. What really impacted me more was the threat of the loss of function to do the things that kind of define who I am as a person. You know, the ability to go and have a long discussion with my wife, Ann, the ability to hug my 3 kids that mean the world to me, the ability to keep up with my 19-month-old grandson, Cole, who is my buddy. But you know, I gained the courage to be here fighting for a cause like this, fighting for a prize like this, in many ways based on those that have gone before me. And I think we have one of those great examples here tonight with Augie and Lynn Nieto. Augie is my hero. You know, the youngest of our kids is my daughter, Stephanie. She gives me a hard time all of the time. And the reality of it is she's probably the most like me. I'll go to say something, and she will finish my sentence. And she says, "Dad, you're so predictable." And I tell her predictability is a good trait in a father. And I'd also argue that it's a good trait in a leader. And so I'm going to be very predictable tonight and emphasize the 4 points that we have consistently made over the past 2 days in presenting our XPRIZE. First, the market has failed miserably in the development of assistive devices for people with diseases or disabilities. We need affordable and effective solutions. Those technology solutions are not available or they're too expensive. Right now, there is no incentive. That's why we need the XPRIZE. Second, the global impact of this prize spans across diseases and disabilities. Solving the assistive technology challenges of ALS isn't the end. What you need to understand, it is the beginning. It is the door that will provide assistive technologies to millions, hundreds of millions of diseases, disabilities, injured veterans, as well as the frail and aging population. At some point in time, everyone in this room is going to need this technology. Now, I may need it before you, but unless you don't plan on aging, eventually we're all going to get there. And the only way that technology is going to be there for us is if we launch this XPRIZE. Third, to ensure the integrity of the prize model and push innovators to solve the toughest challenge, we will measure their outcomes against the hardest nut to crack, ALS. Our prize will challenge the world to make exponential advances in assistive technologies in the 4 domains of mobility, manipulation, communication, and respiration. It also incentivizes innovators to integrate those domains into one solution. You know, you can create an individual solution for a patient, such as respiration, and improve their ability to survive. You integrate them across the domains, you allow them to thrive. And fourth, with the power of XPRIZE and the crowd, we will get technology into the hands of patients in the next 5 years. These solutions can and will scale quickly. They'll have a huge impact on the quality of life of those who desperately need them now and those that will need them in the future. The great thing about our Ironman prize is that it's focused on outcomes, not how you get there. For example, one of our metrics that we use for manipulation is simply the ability to open a door. Now, we don't care how you get there and solve the problem with brain sensors or with robotics. Anything as long as the patient can afford the solution and independently use it. A short time ago, I lost a dear friend to ALS. Jay Fishman was the chairman and CEO of the Travelers. And he gave me a lot of advice as I got into this challenge. And the one that sticks with me tonight is he said, as you get involved and try to change the world, make sure you understand that at some point in time, you'll have to pass the baton. Because no ALS patient is in the race for the long term. A big part of passing that baton in the future is this XPRIZE. The support from this ecosystem as well as the support that we've received from patients, neurologists, innovators, the ALS Association, gives me the confidence that we must and we will finish this race. For me personally, the support of my colleagues from Caterpillar is something that means absolutely the world to me. And at this point in time, I'd like to introduce my good friend and colleague, Greg Foley, Vice President of CAT.
Thanks, Ed. You know, as the ALS and XPRIZE communities get to know Ed, they're getting a glimpse of what Caterpillar's global employees know so well. Ed's an innovative problem solver. Throughout his career, Ed approached problem solving in a similar vein to the way XPRIZE approaches it. Clearly identify the problem to solve and then openly collaborate with the best talent available. Through the generous support of our Caterpillar employees, customers, and dealers around the world, along with Ed's Stay Strong Fund, we have raised already $5 million to address the operating cost for this prize. Now that's not all. Caterpillar is committed to this effort, and we will continue to provide the operating funds to see this project through to its conclusion, and together we'll make this prize a reality and bring relief to the tens of millions of people who need it.
Greg and I have been colleagues for years, and we were talking backstage about how we always knew we were going to be working together to solve tough problems. We just never figured it was going to be like this. But that support, means the world to me. But the reality of it is what matters most is in the months and years ahead is whether or not we succeed in dramatically reshaping the quality of life for those with disease, disabilities, the frail, the aging around the world. There are solutions out there to restore dignity and hope, to allow them to be able to be themselves. So let's restore the ability to breathe, to hold loved ones, to speak their mind, to open a door. So I'm asking you, the audience and the world, to take up the baton. And together, we'll make this Ironman XPRIZE a reality. Thank you.